Hello, learners. We are thrilled to back with yet another insightful interview experience. Hope you are learning from all the interview experiences available on our channel and speeding ahead in your preparation journey. But before we jump into our video, we have got to share this amazing website with you, takeinterview.tech, which is really helpful for interview preparation and also super easy to use. Main advantage for us is that this site includes a wide array of VLSI and embedded questions from leading semiconductor recruiters. Once you are there, just click over to the interview question section. Website is packed with interview questions from more than 100 different companies. You can filter questions by topic or company name. They have got solutions and hints for every questions as well. Plus you can contribute and help others too. This website will surely help you for your interview preparations. It's definitely worth checking out. Link is in the description. Okay, now let's get back to our video.
Myself, Gaurav Shukla. Okay, I'm working with the Qualcomm from the past 2.5 years as a IC RTL design engineer. So here I'm responsible for all the RTL design and all the spyglass flows and the different level of quality checks we are performing here and then delivering to the customers. So my job role basically involves all the RTL designing, starting from the specification, then module level development, then performing all the quality checks, linting CDC, power checks, and then we will do some Qualcomm specific qualification and will release it to the customers for their use. So this is basically my second job role. I started working as a FPGA design engineer in my previous company. Then I switched to the ASIC, being a challenged task. It's a very vast domain as ASIC, so we'll get more to explore on the ASIC parts. So that was the main reason I switched to the ASIC. And in my previous job role also, I used to do the RTL coding, but that was more on FPGA board development. It was all involving VSDL coding style, and we used to go for thermal testing, everything, all the starting from the scratch, and we used to deliver on the field testing with the customers. So that was my job role previously. Here we are using all system Verilog, and some of the scripting language also we need for the automation. So that's the overview for my job role in Qualcomm, how we are performing all the tests here and everything. To start with the Qualcomm, you have to apply to portal since if you are the fresher and aiming to join the Qualcomm just out of your college, then you have to go through some written examination that involves basic digital design questions and your all BTech level questions. But since I joined Qualcomm as an experienced candidate, so I did not have this written stage. Directly, I involved with the interview process. It For me, it overall it involved four level of interviews. So first, second, or third means all four level will be technical interviews. So it was all focused on your previous work experience. Suppose I have worked on FPGA, so it will start kind of from the FPGA level, what you have done in your past projects, what was your job role, how you have implemented the logics in digital, and involves, since I was doing VSDL coding previously, so some basic level of question for VSDL, what is the syntax and all coding styles, what is the pros and cons for VSDL, and then compared to the system Verilog, what is the usage of Verilog and why we switch to the VSDL to Verilog, all basic kind of questions. Invo- it will be there, and then basic digital questions, definitely you have to come prepared with the basic digitals. Either you have the combinational logics or sequential logics, all basic digital questions you have to be prepared with. And since you will be working on different protocols, so protocol wise also you have to be very um, you know to the point, what protocol follows, exactly what is the protocol. Suppose for example, in my case, I worked on different protocols. It was all AMBA protocol, AXI, AHB. So you have to be very hand you should have some hands on the AXI protocol if you're mentioning in your resume. So you have to be very careful while mentioning all the skills, all the protocol you have worked on in your resume, so that it will catch the attention of your interviewer, and definitely they are going to ask some questions because these are the very standard protocols. And you gonna get um, all the starting from the basic question till the advanced level questions. So you have to prepare in AXI, AMBA, I2C, SPI, all those protocols. And if I work on some high speed protocol also, then you have to be very focused on, for example, high speed protocols mean Ethernet or PCI. Then you have to at least some level of knowledge you should have. It's just giving the overview, I think will not help there because it's a very point of interest. Ethernet, PCI, all those protocols, very high speed protocols, and people are very interested to know about how much you know, how much depth you know. So that you should be very particular about high speed protocols. For AXI or other AMBA protocols, I mean, you can somehow answer the questions because it's not that much depth, but you have to be very focused on your resume side. And then of course, if I mention some project, so you have to be very well versed with the all the project details, how you have implemented, what were the challenges you have faced in your projects, then how you have implemented, how you have resolved those problems. One or two scenario definitely they will ask what was the main challenging part of the project. And then you have to be, you know, attentive on those parts, what were the challenges and how you have tackled those, you know, those particular challenge. And though basically first round, all the four interviews or all four round of interviews has the technical questions. Basically hiring manager will come and ask all these basic questions, then it will go to advanced level. It might start from the basic flip flop, and what is the working of flip flop, and then it might go up to the all the protocol implementation, FSM implementation, pattern detection logics. So if I'll divide the question, what was the question? What kind of question they were asking? So it was like all combinational logic questions. They will ask pattern detection questions mostly. You will find on your table, and then FSM, all the kind of FSM. What are the challenges with one FSM? For example, in FSM we have two type from state machines. One is a Mealy machine, one is a Moore machine. So what are the pros and cons of in each of the FSM, and how we will decide which FSM you have to encode. Then what are the coding logic, and and sometimes they might ask you to write questions based on some scenarios, and you have to write the coding also. One favorite topic I have observed across all the interview question is FIFO. I mean, how you will the clock domain crossing is a very favorite topic. So how you will implement the FIFO for those things if you are doing the some signal is crossing from one domain to the another domain. So CDC is one part you have to be very focused on, and static timing analysis you have to be very focused on. You should be very well prepared with all these two topics. FIFO concepts, yeah, you have to be prepared with FIFO concepts, and counter logics, and based on the combinational circuits, how will you design the AND gates? For example, how using 2 cross 1 mux, how will you design AND gate, how will you design OR gate, or how will you design NAND NOR? So all sort of questions you might get in your interview. And some syntax, like they might ask you to write questions also. Questions will be like something reset synchronizer, if some reset is coming, how you will synchronize. So basically all these reset synchronizer schemes, fast domain to the slow clock domain crossing, and the vice versa, the slow clock domain to the fast clock domain, how will you handle those things? So definitely these kind of questions you will get. So you have to prepare all these CDC related questions, timing related, setup and hold timing related questions, reset synchronizers, protocols, and if you are from the FPGA background, then you have to be you know very well prepared with the FPGA, all the architecture which FPGA board you have used, and what was the configuration of those FPGA, whether it was Xilinx, Vertex 7, RTX 7, or Ultra Scale or MPSoCs. What was the design? How you have implemented your design, and so what was your part of that particular thing in the RTL team? So you have to be very focused on those parts. So and code are, and you have any one language you can prefer. It doesn't matter whether you have worked on VHDL or Verilog or System Verilog. So main focus will be on logic designing on the spot. This impromptu questions, you how you are handling those questions, that will be main focus for interviewers. You can prepare either of the RTL language, be it be system Verilog or Verilog. That is up to you. And so other part, I'll focus on. So I already covered these questions. What kind of questions you will get, and for sources, I would say for sources, what I followed is definitely you can follow Sunburst design papers. They have very good content. You can follow those parts. They have all the white papers they have on each topic, be it the CDC or maybe a FIFO design, synchronous FIFO design, asynchronous FIFO design, or any part you just search, you will find on the Sunburst paper. That is very authentic, and you can follow those. Other for coding, I followed, there is website called HDL Bits. There you can kind of get the basic initial questions. So that HDL Bits, that site, you will find the different kind of RTL question that you can try, and so you will get a lot of exposure there on that particular website. Other YouTube channel, I don't have any specific YouTube channel, but there was one Technical Bytes. So that Technical Byte, there's a channel, you can follow that channel also. They have explained very well. It's all animated with the animation. They have tried to explain all the concepts, CDC or be it the protocol kind of I2C or AXI. They have tried to explain everything very well. So that particular channel you can find, and it will be very easy to understand also. They have explained in a very layman language, I would say. So it's a very good channel to watch. Books, I don't have any specific books, but I personally preferred Morris Mano for digital design. So Morris Mano is very good book. It's a like you can say it's Bible for electronic, I would say, for digital design. So Morris Mano you can follow, and no need to go through deep into K mapping, everything, all those parts, but basic sequential logics and combinational logics, another counter, up counter, down counter, ripple counter, Johnson counter, maybe bit of one simple pattern detection logic. How will you design, starting from the K mapping till the truth table, everything. You can just go through those books. You will find very good explanation there. And one last thing I would say for questions, while preparing for these questions, I would say try to focus on drawing the timing diagrams, because that is very important. Normally what people will do is we can go through the protocols, and we can just cram it and try to explain. But if we are trying to understand the protocol with the help of the timing waveforms, with any of the logic, with the simple flip flop also, if you are trying to understand, try to explain it with the help of waveforms, and how it is actually working. And in case of protocol also, try to draw the waveform, so it will be easy for you to understand also, and your concept will be very clear. You will not have any doubt on that if you are drawing using the timing diagram. So I would say focus on the timing diagrams very carefully. So in that case you will be able to understand it very, to the deep level. Other part, and it's I can say you can try to have some mock interviews also with among your friends. So that will be very helpful for you to tackle the questions in the top MNCs actually. So because sometimes we will be knowing the answers, but since it is our first interview, or maybe it's initial interview rounds, we might end up with the answering wrong, giving the wrong answers, which we are knowing actually, but just because of this interview fear, we would end up giving some wrong answers. So try to have some mock interviews, one or two mock interviews before the actual interviews, so that will give you some confidence, so you can answer the questions very easily. And I mean, most of the times it's not necessary that out of 100 questions, I mean 100% you are giving 100% right answers. The interviewer might will be checking your how you are tackling the questions. If it is coming to you on the spot, it's not previously not known, but immediately how you are trying to solve those questions. Basically they will try to check your approach towards the questions also. So it's not necessary that you have to be 100% right, but try to explain your approach, how you are approaching the questions. Keep on telling them that you are thinking in this direction, and I'm trying to solve this problem in this way. So that will give some confidence the interviewer also. Okay, you are trying to think something different, and you're trying to come to some conclusion which is not a conventional one. So that in that way you can give some good impression on the interviewer, so that will definitely help you. So yeah, that was, I will say, overall, my interview experience with the Qualcomm. And definitely all this topic you can prepare. It's a very minimal topic, and questions will be not that great, difficult, but it will be little bit tricky. So if you think the answer will be very easy, but the questions sometimes you will find it very, you know the your wording will be very difficult, but the your answer, if you think it very calm and composed manner, it answer will be very easy. So try to focus on those things. Sometimes you might have studied the same questions, but you know the answer, but sometimes the question will be put in such a way that it might confuse you. So you try to think about some questions, take your time, and try to come to some conclusion. Even if you are not knowing the 100% right answers, you try to give some insights about the question. Okay, you have seen this question, you know a little, like half of the answer, but you are not completely aware of those questions. That is also okay. CDAC actually played a very crucial role, because there you will, from the college, mostly will not get to that much of lab experience and that much of practical knowledge in our college time. So CDAC definitely will get good exposure to all these RTL logics, and you will develop the RTL coding, and you will get to have all these practical experience there. So definitely CDAC helped a lot. You will get all the there. Basically, we have a course structured in such a way that you will have RTL knowledge also. They will give little bit of a PD background also. Then you will have all the you will get to implement some of the RTL logic protocols. You will have a very good mentors there. All and they have their own lab itself for CDAC. I think CDAC will be known for their own R&D development. So you will get to know all these practical exposure there. And definitely placement wise also, it's a good. So many companies are visiting to CDAC. And since VLSI, we have very limited seats, and we have only some few centers which are conducting this courses for VLSI, especially in CDAC. Maybe it's Noida, or I think in from Pune. I did that is the headquarter. So Pune it has a structure. So you will get good exposure there for definitely for our front end on, as well as a little bit of back end also. Verification also you will learn, because in their curriculum they have included UVM as well, system verilog, VSDL. So all these they have covered. So at least you will have practical knowledge, and as well as a good training also on actual FPGA boards. So I don't think so many of the college have those exposure. So CDAC will definitely play a very important role. So it's a kind of training center, plus it's a government organization that is very reputed also. So in that way you and taking all the factor into consideration, it's overall, I would suggest it's a very good institution to get the knowledge of the initial how to enter into the VLSI industry. And they have very experienced mentor, they have very experienced teacher who himself are working on the very important project inside the CDEC itself. They will come and take the lecture for you. So they are the industry professional, they have the on field knowledge. So in that way, it's not just theory knowledge you are getting, you will get all the practical exposure also as well. So definitely, I will suggest, if we have one or 2 months in our hand for the interview. So I will suggest start from the basic, because see, for VLSI industry, basic digital is a must. So you should be very clear with your digital electronics. Apart from other, if you are not going for any particular role like analog or mixed signal, I'm telling about RTL front end and maybe verification, or so at least digital knowledge should be must. You can start with a basic digital, whatever you have learned in your BTech. And it's a very starting from counter mux, priority encoder, decoder, logic, and using mux, how will you design the gates, and your universal gates, how will you use that. From starting from those gate level combinational logic, then you can move to the sequential logic, because actually how flops are designed, especially D flip flop, because other flops are not that much used in the actual art designing. So you can start with the sequential logic. After starting with the combination, you can move to the sequential logic. You can understand the designing of the flip flop, how it what is the working, what is the metastability, why we have the sync, and what is the synchronizers, how we use the synchronizers scheme, different type of synchronizers we have, two flop synchronizer, three flop synchronizer, what is the criteria of choosing those synchronizers. Then you can go to the timing analysis, little bit of setup time, hold time, in case of reset recovery, what is the reset removal timing, FSM designing. So all this topic you can cover, and FSM is like it, you can cover it with the FSM, like if you want to detect the pattern. So for pattern detection you can use the FSM designing. So what kind of, so you can take one example, you can just go through how you will detect the pattern, whether it's a overlapping pattern, non-overlapping patterns. So this topic you can just move to the FSM designing. I think that will be sufficient enough. And if you want to learn some protocol, so AXI is in the market, it's evergreen protocol. So AXI, little bit of I2C or AHB, all these AMBA protocols you can just go through for the basic of this one. And for AXI, I'll say, like there are some advanced topic also, like out of order transactions, address decoding. So those are the topics you can cover. So I think you will be good to go for any interview. So these are the topic these are topic you should cover. I mean, that is a must, you should cover, because interview you don't know what they can ask. So I would suggest all this topic you just cover it once, and it's not that hard. It will be very easily understandable. You understand it with the timing diagram, with the help of videos, with the help of animations, all these animated videos we have for the protocols of D flip flop working. And I think that would suffice your interview preparation. So and you will be good to go. So for any further query or any mentorship if you want, I'm available on topmate as well, so you can always reach me out on topmate or LinkedIn profile that will be shared in the description. And I'll just wish all the best for the all the candidates who are preparing for the interview. Just all the best and keep doing well.